I think
like
that
once in a lifetime things in the past 6 years.
Look, we fucking diverted away from the prime timeline. We are that ball that split off and went to the right instead of the left. We are not on the prime timeline anymore. Anything's up for grabs. I think China invades Taiwan or whatever the fuck any fucking day now. I don't see why I don't know what they're waiting on.
The January 6th committee has my attention. And someone said something on the news today that made me look at it in a different way. All right, so here's the deal. Everyone knows people don't vote for president. People vote for electors. Those electors vote for president, right? That's at the Electoral College. Cool. Mm-hmm. Elector is a real job. It is a job you get from the federal government. It's like a thing that like you can't just declare yourself an elector. It'd be like declaring yourself a senator. Like, oh, are you voting on whatever, the budget? Well, I'm a senator now. They're like, no, you dickface. Like, you're not a senator. That's a real job. Like, we already know who the senators are. You can't just say that you're one. But that was the Trump plan. Trump was like, we're going to put an alternative slate of electors on there. And I was like, these are just regular fucking yahoos. That would be akin to Trump saying we're going to put an alternative slate of senators to vote on this bill. Like, no, you can't do that. That's like kind of a coup. This was on January 6th. He wanted to have a different set of electors. Yeah, that was his plan.
How do you become an elector? Who makes you an electman?
I don't know the hiring process for an elector, but I can tell you that they're chosen in advance to do the job.
I hear the Clintons pick them.
I mean, I imagine whoever picks them, it's fucking shady. Everything's shady.
I don't know. I
don't know anything about that, but I'll
vote the way that they're supposed to. So they must be a little nonpartisan and they just obey the will of the voters, right? Mm-hmm. They can't be total jackasses.
Seems like the least partisan part of the process because they kind of just do what they're told.
Thank you. Right. But Trump was like, hey, I know we have electors chosen and hired to do this stupid little ceremony thing, but I'm going to bring in my own electors that don't obey the will of the people that are loyal to me. And it's like, whoa, you can't just do that. You can't just like replace the senators with your own batch. And that was what he was doing. And it's like, that's fucking
state
coup shit.
I think that he was just clearly trying to send it back to the states because they had fraudulently, misdiagnosed the situation. At least that's what the emails that I've been sent from the Trump campaign would allege. I'll say this. I didn't. So when it happened, I watched the news. I saw it happen, but I really didn't think it was as bad as everyone was making it out to be. I thought that when they were talking about insurrection and a coup, that they were blowing things out of proportion, as news medias want to do on both sides all the time. It's always the end of the fucking world. Like the only time it's been true is this last time with the pandemic, but most of the time it's crying wolf.
It was a big deal to me. I'm sorry, finish.
Yeah. So I watched like a 20-minute video on Reddit, and it was so much stuff that I had never seen before. And there's a part where, like, I don't think it's the Proud Boys, it's some other like militant type group, but like you can see them, like something like that. But you can see them when they start moving through the crowd, like they've all got their right hand on the guy in front of their right shoulder. They're all wearing matching tactical gear, and it's like good shit. And they're moving through that crowd like a snake. And it's like, oh shit, I think these boys have a fucking mission. And
do they get in?
Yes, everybody got in. Anyone who wanted in could get in. And I mean, like, they ended up being, I don't know if it was 40 feet or 40 meters that's left me from from Pence, from like from them escaping. Pence is like underneath in a fucking catacomb for a lot of it. And they want him to get in the car. And he's like, if I get in that car, you're going to leave. He's like, no, sir, I work for you. He's like, you work for me, but you're not driving the car. If I get in that car, you're going to take me out of the Capitol, and I will not let the American people see me like driven from the Capitol. They will not see that happen to the vice president. I'm going to stay here and certify this. And he stayed down there like with flashlights in the photos that I've seen, and did the paperwork and before they left.
Yeah. That would have been horrible optics for him to get chased out.
Like they're chanting for Nancy Pelosi, and like I saw a I'll call her a MAGA Karen, But and she was going 1-on-3 with the Capitol Police and winning. Because every time they sort of reached toward her to push, she was indignant. How dare you touch me? But then she fucking like come
speak to the manager.
No, she like come for them and like get back away from me. I'm getting in there. I'm after Pelosi. And then they're like, ma'am, stay back. And she's like, how dare you move aggressively toward me, you piece of shit. And she's like backing them down. And she's got like so many like MAGA boys behind her that they're just pushing. And you can see them they're on the radios. They're like, we need more men. We need more men. And they're having a club fight with these people. Like the cop has a shield and a club, but these people don't mind taking a clubbing or two. They close the distance, they grab the club, and then their buddy comes in and helps them, and they wrest it away from the guy and push him on his ass because he's wearing so much gear. And now his buddies are like, get John, because John's turtled up, and the MAGA boys are throwing him a vicious beating.
Jesus Christ.
I had never seen any of that. And I'm saying that like
I haven't seen that either.
But what it was is I was blown away that I didn't know that any of that had fucking happened because I just never seen it. They never showed that shit on CNN. It's not like I was watching Fox News with my head up
I see a lot of the same footage. That cop getting squished in the door, screaming in pain. It seems like maybe over exaggerating the pain, right? Like I see that all the time.
I think I got lost an eye though.
You know, you made a lot of noise for one eye.
I've never heard the eye
There's
thing.
a cop. He's got brown hair. He looks like he's maybe 28 or so. And he was like, it seemed like they were closing a door on him. I could be wrong on that. And he was just crying in pain and begging for mercy. And he wasn't getting any from the MAGA crowd.
Yeah. I saw varying degrees of violence. Sometimes it seemed like a party environment.
Yep.
Guys who were not violent. They were like partiers, like woohoo.
That's what they showed like as it was happening. Like those were the videos they were where it was like that was the video where like the doors opened and like a bunch of people went in like it was a frat party.
People obeyed the velvet
like,
lines.
Oh, we're gonna obey the velvet lines, and other people were like, I'm gonna go put my feet on a desk. I'm gonna lift this thing up. I'm gonna make a silly face on camera, and then like
that's what it looked like.
But they should have showed
they're wearing those costumes stuff, and I didn't take them seriously at all. And I remember people and like the line that maybe the news media took was like, "Can you believe that they stepped foot on this hallowed ground or whatever?" And I was like, I hope shit. I don't care about your hallowed fucking like that. That's not mine.
I don't.
The fact is they wouldn't they're not going to let me tour that fucking building and see the beautiful architecture. That's for some special people. Clearly,
there's I'm trying to remember the guy's name. One of the members of the House Representative gave some of the leaders of the
that's
MAGA
just poor
riot,
framing, by the way.
gave some of the leaders of the MAGA riot a tour ahead of time. And you think, well, I mean, how damning is that really? The guy's taking pictures of shit that a tourist wouldn't typically be interested in, where the security centers are, how the hallways are. These were not like pictures and like how this was like behind the scenes, how to get to different places.
Why'd they do that?
They were there to kill
kill
Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence.
No, maybe a misunderstanding.
Confidential informant that told them that they were there to kill Mike Pence. If they could have gotten him, they'd have killed him.
Oh, I believe
so.
That.
The House representative person gave tours to leaders of the insurrection, and they were taking pictures, and it's caught on security camera, of things that tourists wouldn't be interested in. They were planning the attack the next day with the aid of a House of Representative member.
That makes more sense. I thought you meant like they went on the little White House tour and they were taking photos. I'm like, I can't imagine they're walking you next to the football. But yeah, so someone like a MAGA guy basically brought them in prior and walked them around like secretly.
Yeah. Well, a member of House of Representatives. So this is like a Republican, a federally elected, gave tours to leaders so that they could better plan their insurrection the next day. And these guys are taking pictures of like security stations.
What happened to that guy?
Like that. It's only recently been exposed. I heard about it like today or yesterday.
It always takes so much more time for stuff to come out. Or not always, but sometimes it does where it's like, all right, I got a good handle on this. And then 3 years later, something comes out and you're like, oh no, 100% wrong on that.
And as far as those gallows go, they keep showing the picture of those gallows there, like making it out like that's such a big deal. How many effigies of Trump did we watch burn? How many times have I seen him get like remember that was the thing that Kathy Griffin had is like the decapitated head in that
His
video.
decapitated head.
That was
I didn't see many effigies of Trump, but I saw lots and lots of
so many
mocking
pinatas.
stuff. Pinatas is a better one. And there was like an inflatable balloon that seemed to follow him around.
I saw him get hung a lot. He's very easy to
I saw the
caricature.
hangings a couple times. I saw a couple like built like statues, not a good statue, obviously, that burn.
Ugly, like embarrassing statues. I saw one with a very tiny penis in New York that was pretty
Lots
hilarious.
of that.
The city was like, hey, we can't have any erections of statues, no matter how small. You have to take it down. It was pretty funny.
Did you?
Don't put statues of naked people around.